Hello all, this is JC3 from Is This Real? Do you want to start your own podcast? Then look no further than Buzzsprout.com. We here at Green Hour Media use Buzzsprout, and we love the team at Buzzsprout. They are all about helping you succeed. Buzzsprout gets your show listed in every major podcast platform. Follow the link in our show notes to let Buzzsprout know that we sent you. It gets you a $20 paid Amazon gift card if you sign up with a paid plan and helps support our show. Join us and over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout.com to get your message out to the world. Welcome, everybody, with a brand new episode of Is This Real? I'm your host today, as always, Joe Cayola, coming at you. I'm here with Dad.
The other Joe Cayola?
Yeah, the other Joe Cayola. How you doing today, Dad?
I'm doing all right. A little warm in here, but other than that, we're okay.
I'm good. I put on the fan today.
Because you're a prick, but that's okay.
Well, what are you going to do? I have a fan and you don't, so... So today's episode is going to be part 2 of the finish of the haunted places in New Jersey. We have a couple more stories with Clinton Road to get through, and I want to get through some comments on that because I'm looking at the comments on this page from Weird New Jersey, and people have been adding to it, and just trying to debunk some things. But we'll start off with some headlines of the day, just news headlines.
All right. Well, you know what? The most important one I really want to get to is...
Hold on. What's playing? You have audio playing.
Hold on. I'm checking that out here.
Please turn off the audio.
Audio is off.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So what's
the number one thing I want to start with today is I want to start with a little bit of news, and one was from 2 days ago, the Bill Barr hearing. They called it a hearing, but it was more like a public spanking, or at least the Democrats tried to spank him. And, the man came out of his own volition. He didn't get subpoenaed to come there. They've been wanting to talk to him for 2 years. They had enough time to prepare. And the Democrats came up lame. They had no idea what they're talking about. They wouldn't let the man respond to a question. At some point, it just got to be very frustrating to watch this because all they wanted to do is belittle him. Now, I don't know if you guys know Bill Barr or not, but he was the AG for H.W. Bush.
What is an AG?
Attorney General for George Bush, the first George Bush. And then fast forward 30 years later, he's the Attorney General for Donald Trump. And I guess the Democrats are so desperate for power at this point that they had to belittle him. And, they should have just put a cardboard cutout of the guy and let it sit there and just yelled at him all the time, because that's what it came down to. They would not let the man speak. And then when he did speak, they belittled him. They made him feel like he was an asshole. But I don't think he actually felt like it, because at one point he busted out laughing because they're just that creepy of a group. And, for guys in the Congress, the Democrats in the Congress, you can't get any more desperate than they are at this point. But yeah, I don't want to go off on a tyrant here, but they were just really obnoxious. And it was a disgrace how they put the man down. I mean, this is the sitting Attorney General of the United States. And, Nancy Pelosi's comments, he was a big blob. Well, Nancy, you know what? You stay out of the lights, because basically it looks like you're going to melt with the 75,000 pounds of makeup you got on, you drunk bastard.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I got to be real here, because you know what? She speaks a good game. She's a devout Catholic, but she's pro-abortion. It doesn't work for me. Sorry to tell you. You want to be pro-life? That's for you. If you want to be pro-abortion? That's for you. You do whatever you want to do. That's the beauty of our country. But to say that you're a devout Catholic, but you are pro-abortion, then you're not Catholic. Then you're a creep. Everything she says is full of hypocrisy. She'll tell you to go have fun in Chinatown. There's not going to be a problem with this disease, but then all of a sudden COVID happens and she blames the president. It's mind-boggling at this point, the desperation in the Democrats. And moving forward, I want to get on to the big tech meeting yesterday, which was, wow. You had two different separate things here. This was supposed to be an an antitrust meeting in Congress. And they had the heads of, they had Zuckerberg for Facebook. They had the guy for Amazon,
and Amazon.
Google. And, they caught these guys. They lie so much. I mean, anybody can see that. If you go on and you try to Google up something of a conservative nature, the first 50 things are going to be nothing to do with a conservative value. Nothing. It's all going to be against exactly what you're looking up. And you guys can do the homework. You do it yourself. I'm just letting you know it's there. But of course, they're not doing it. They're telling the Congress they're not doing it. Google does not do that. Well, then answer me this question. They answered this yesterday. 2 days ago, Donald Trump put up a video of a group of doctors in Houston talking about the one drug. I can't think of the name of it. It's hydrochlor, whatever the hell it is. Okay.
Tyrosine or some shit like that.
And they're basically telling them their experience. But because it wasn't the official story, they pulled it down. It had millions of views, but they pulled it down. Because in their mind, if it goes against the official story, they don't like it. And they don't want anybody else's voices heard but their own. Okay? And Google has got to be one of the worst companies out there. And I don't really care if anybody, that's my opinion. And that's the way it is. And these guys are disgraceful. They're too big. They need to be broken up. They have too much power in our country. And that goes with Amazon as well. Amazon can do whatever they want. Their platform is, we can outsell anybody, and we will. They were asked about selling merchandise, knockoff merchandise. Oh, well, the answer was basically like, I'll look into that. I'm not sure. Well, the question was, well, you were profiting from it. Well, if we were, it was a very small profit. No, if you're profiting from it, you have to know it's there. If you're worthy of being worth $190 billion, then do your goddamn job. Okay? Or give it to somebody else who can. But this has got to stop. This way too big. Way too big. But their excuse is they're in competition with Walmart. They're in competition with Kohl's. They're in competition with other stuff. But the bottom line is, Walmart has been in bed with the U.S. government for years. And Walmart has brick and mortar stores that they can be in competition with any other store. It's not like they're an online retail. They do have online, but not like Amazon. Amazon is standing by themselves. Okay. And then we move over to Zuckerberg. This guy, does he believe half the shit he says? Here's a guy who basically stole this company from another group of people. He backstabbed anybody to get his own way. He got the company, and now all of a sudden he's supposed to be the genius. He can take down conservative views. He can put up whatever he wants. Okay, here's the deal. If you want to be a platform for everyone's views, if you want to be social media, then you're going to get the protection against lawsuits because it's not your content you're putting up. But if you want to be somebody who's going to sit there and you're going to talk about how bad the content is, or you want to censor the content, well, then you're going to be labeled as a news organization or a publisher, and then you're going to lose that protection from lawsuits because the content that goes on there, you will be held responsible for. You cannot have it both ways. They asked him a very simple question: did you strong arm the people at Instagram before you bought it? And the answers they're incredible. They go around here. They go left and right. They don't give the proper answer. It's never an honest answer, and it's never a direct answer. But yet I got to blame Congress because Congress had all this time to get in touch with these people and talk about it, but they came across looking like assholes because none of them knew what they were talking about. None of them. And nothing's going to get done. There will be nothing done. They won't break the company. They'll threaten it. They'll do this. They'll do that. They'll spank them. And then they'll move on. And next year we'll go through the horse shit again. We got to start to hold accountable the people that we put in office. Because this dog and pony show can't be held now. We need true competition in this country. All right? And it needs to go. Having said all that, that's my take on that. And then we have Nancy Pelosi. who's just, wow. She is the psychic vampire of all psychic vampires. This woman, and I'm going to call her a woman because I'm trying to be nice, she basically will say nothing right about the president or anybody involved with him. Okay, here's a woman that if you go in her closet, she has more bones in her closet and skeletons with her husband's misdeeds. Okay, but yet she's got the balls to come out and go after a sitting attorney general, calling him a henchman. He's a blob. Well, you know what? He's not a henchman and he's not a blob. Problem is, if he ever comes out with the stuff that he's got on the members of Congress, like he said, the members of that chamber are not going to be really happy with him. And they know that they can't. They have the Durham report coming out, and the Durham report is basically looking into the 2016 election and who was involved in the phony dossier and all that other shit. But it goes much deeper. You got names in there. You got Obama. You got Biden. You got who else in there? Basically a who's who at the time. Eric Holder. All of these people from the Obama administration are going to be named, and this guy's got subpoena power. Durham has got subpoena power, which means there's going to be some subpoenas coming up. Now, I watched the whole thing the other day with Barr, and the one comment they made, no one seemed to get to, except last night. I was watching a program, and last night one of the congresswomen looked at him and said to him, "Can you give me a guarantee that you will not release the findings of the Durham report before the election?" That screams at me because that's what they want. They want to make sure that this stuff doesn't come out before the election. Because if it comes out after the election and Biden wins, it gets buried. Biden pardons people. It goes over with. It's done. They bury it. Nobody does a damn thing. But if it comes out beforehand and subpoenas are done, if Biden gets subpoenaed and Obama gets subpoenaed and some members of Congress get subpoenaed, what you're going to have at that point is a massacre. You're going to have a lot of people getting in a lot of trouble. And it'll be right before an election, and they are petrified of this. And that's why you see everything that's going on here. They are so desperate. They want to silence Barr. They want to demonize Barr because Barr isn't holding to anybody. He holds his own. And that's my comments for today. And that's my news of the show. So, Joe, I'm going to hand it back over to you.
Well, I'm still here.
Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. Did you have anything to say about any of this?
No.
No.
I just want to get in the headlines for today. You know,
Okay.
what the main headlines. They're still doing a funeral for John Lewis. Former GOP candidate dies of coronavirus, and that would be Herman Cain.
A good and decent man, by the way.
Herman Cain died at 74 years old.
But I doubt very much that you're going to see any horse-drawn carriages for him.
Yeah, probably. Swift backlash after Trump suggests delaying election. Contested Flynn dismissal to go before full appeals court as legal saga drags on. Bernie Sanders tells Trump, "We're not delaying the election. Your disastrous presidency will end."
He's one to talk.
Ohio House Speaker ousted from position after charged in bribery money laundering scheme. New York City man 77 forced to withdraw $1,800 from ATM following assault. China sees spike in COVID-19 cases. We have Tropical Storm Isaias coming up. 3 Chicago cops shot outside police station during arrest. Suspect.
Hold on a minute. There was a shooting in Chicago?
Yes, and water is still wet.
That's odd.
Hong Kong bars pro-democracy candidates from election. Trump to meet with slain Fort Hood soldier Vanessa Gillian's family. UK woman die from do-it-yourself home abortions. And scientists identify 6 different types of COVID-19 in a study.
Hold on. Do-it-yourself home abortion kit?
Not a kit. It's just apparently it was a DIY home abortion.
Was this like advertised, like on late night TV or something?
I don't know. I've heard it was leaked NHS emails reveal.
Okay. Good.
And just for your coronavirus pandemic update, world cases total 17,054,819, 667,707 deaths total in the world. For the U.S., it's 4,427,493. That's confirmed cases, and then total deaths is 150,760.
Yeah, I heard something today. I just want to cut in here for a second. I heard something today with that. I can't remember her name. The woman that was always standing by Fauci with the scarf on.
I don't know.
She's a doctor or something.
Yeah.
But she was pushing now. The new narrative is going to be face shields. Okay, because now they protect the eyes.
Oh, yeah. Fauci said to put goggles on.
Right. So now we're all going to be goggled and masked. And we're all going to, it's going to be a giant country all looking like a bunch of Snoopies before we get in a plane.
Yeah. So that is your breaking news updates for what? Today's Thursday, July 30th, 2020.
One more day, my Trumpy Bear comes. I can't wait. I'm very excited about that.
You and your Trumpy Bear. All right. So back to our original intent for this episode.
Yeah, okay. Can you just hang on 1 second? What we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of this episode, take a part 2 of this, because I know there's been a lot of people asking for it. And later on, we're going to bring in a special guest later on in the show, and he's going to actually give us some firsthand experiences, what he saw on the border of New York and New Jersey up in Orange County, New York. So, go ahead, Joe. Start it up.
Yeah. So we were talking about Clinton Road in the last episode, and I said we had 4 stories to finish off.
Right.
So I'll just go right into the stories, and we'll diverge into the comments of the stories and stuff like that. So this one's called The Clinton Road Cop. This guy goes, oh, wow, this place was scary. Oh, wow, was this place scary. I was there a few times before, and it wasn't that bad. Except when we got in flat center of 10 Mile Road when we asked the cop... Yeah. When the cop asked what we're doing, we lied. We asked why was he on such a scary road. His reply is, I'm only out here because I have a gun.
Okay.
And then we have mob rubs out and the head in the bag. Ooh.
The head in the bag.
I always love mob stories. But this one goes, reading some of your Clinton Road stories made me think of a story a guy I worked with went through. He was riding his bike along Clinton Road. Huge mistake. When a huge bird suddenly flew out of the woods right in front of him and flew off. He was very startled, so he stopped and got off his bike. He started walking into the woods, and another bird came flying out. He thought he recognized the type of bird. They were vultures. Trying to figure out why vultures would be flying around in the middle of nowhere, he walked further into the woods. He saw a large bag, so he walked over to it and started to open it. He saw a human head was in it. That shook him up a little bit, so he ran back to the road and started biking out to get a cop. He flagged a passing car who then notified the cops. This started a long string of events in the police investigation involving a mob rub out, leading to a murder arrest.
Wow. Oh, you know what? Hey, it's very quiet up there. A lot of woods, not a lot of people. But
I would love to figure out what that was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if there was an investigation and a murder arrest, there has to be documentation of it.
Well, let's do some insight on that, and then what we do is get back to the listeners at the next available point.
So this one's called Body Bag on Clinton Road. So it's the same type of situation. I've had many weird experiences up on Clinton Road. I was coming home one night with a friend, and we approached the curve located in the middle of Clinton Road, which would be Dead Man's Curve, right?
Right.
There, laying in the road, was someone in a body bag. The blood could be seen on the bag. I put the car in reverse and went back the way I came. We called the police. They found nothing. No blood, no body, no trace of anyone.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Hey, Ryan. Hi, this is Sarah Palin.
Ryan, Donald Trump Jr.
Hogs to win, see you. Hey, everybody, I want y'all to check out a fellow Marines podcast.
My name is Ted Nugent, and I got a call from my buddy Ryan F. Samuels, and he wants me to tell you that he's a working hard, playing all-American son of a who is celebrating God, family, country.
Welcome to the Ryan Samuels Show, one of the top political podcasts in the United States, where we have a healthy distrust for government and mainstream media. The Ryan Samuels Show is a raw, unfiltered look at American politics.
Wow. Could it be that maybe they were just somewhere along the line you wanted to see something like that, and then all of a sudden you've seen it, and then it's not there? Playing tricks on you, maybe? Maybe.
Probably.
You know, I mean, there's no explanation for it. You know, again, these are all stories that don't have any proof. So there's no documentation. There's no nothing. So that's what drives me
But I
nuts.
think that's the problem with Clinton Road in general. You have all these stories, and I have one more to get through before, that's it with this page. But you have all these stories, and there's no proof behind them.
Right. So again, no stories with no proof are just stories.
You would think in a time of people with cell phones and video recording and vlogging and doing all that type of bullshit, that you would see it. Like you would see KKK,
Regalia.
Yeah. Or some shit like that, like some type of satanic worship shit up there, but obviously there hasn't been much. So this last story is called Clinton Road, Not a Joke. So this guy goes, I've been a resident of West Milford for practically my entire life. I have a lot of eyewitness info on Clinton Road. The first and most important fact is that this road is not a joke. Many of the stories you hear are not rumors. In fact, most of them are true. However, every story does have exaggerations. The facts are that many dismembered bodies are found in the woods off of Clinton Road. Cross Castle did exist, and if you go to the wrong place, you will be chased. The KKK does have gatherings there, and there is Satan worship. The strange animals are there, and though no one knows what they are, many people have a theory that some of the survivors from jungle habitat have interbred. So all in all, if you're going to check out Clinton Road, be careful and be smart, or else you will be the next tale. That coming from somebody it's anonymous.
Of course it's anonymous. Again, no proof, nothing. And I don't want to be coming across like the skeptic of the show, but you got to understand too. I can say anything, you can say anything, and they can put all these stories up. But unless you have something of proof, documentation, pictures, audio, video, whatever, you're never going to prove anything. And again, people, they blow the thing. Oh yeah, don't worry about it. Sure, it's no problem. I understand what you're saying, but we have to make sure when you're documenting, like Joey said, we're in the age of cameras now, an age of video. Everybody's got a cell phone. Everybody's got a camera. Take some fucking pictures, please. Let us know what you're seeing. Then it won't be a story anymore. Then it'll be proof. It'll be something. Well, I saw a goat hanging from a tree with an arrow in its ass. Take a picture of it. And if we have it, it's proof.
Exactly.
And that's what drives me crazy. So these stories are great. Some of them you got to say, like the mafia up there. Of course, there's going to be stuff like that anywhere where it's remote. The Meadowlands are vast. There's a lot of bodies in the Meadowlands. Why? Because you can do it. Nobody sees you. Not that I've personally done that or anything, but you got to understand. This is Clinton Road. This is the middle of West Milford, and the woods are vast.
Oh, yeah. Through the comments, you have people go, this guy named Harley Gormley, he said, I lived in West... Sorry, my mouth is kind of dry. He goes, I lived in West Milford my entire whole life, and I never saw anything or heard anything. My mom and I used to ride the horses up by the old castle and swim in the lake. Okay. So this guy, Noah Duncan, said, I've heard of phantom trucks before. They would get right on your tailgate and then honk their horns and would ram you off the road if you didn't move. And then he goes, the trucks do lead somewhere if you have the guts to follow them.
Well, if they're trying to run you off the road, and then you say, I'm going to follow them, but you turn around and they're not there, what are you following?
Exactly. People. So this one girl, Miranda Eckerd, said, witches still exist, but if you show fear, the spiritual demeanor of the past will haunt you.
And she has proof, no doubt, right?
No, nothing. No replies, no nothing.
Oh, okay.
This one guy just says, look it up on YouTube.
Okay, well, you can look it up on YouTube. I'm sure there's a lot of videos of Clinton Road on YouTube. I'm sure of it, but I haven't seen one where it's an actual ghost truck or a ghost boy or anything like that.
This one guy, Mike Piero, he said, I used to go camping on Clinton Road a lot. This is the only spooky story I have. Really late at night, we would hear what sounded like disembodied voices coming from rocks where we camped. Sound like a million voices at once trying to talk over each other at once.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard a lot of that, though.
Sure. Well, the woods are very, very frightening because, again,
it's the fear of the unknown.
It's the fear of the unknown. You don't know who's watching you. There's an old expression, the woods have eyes. And it's true because you don't know who's in the woods. And I'll give you a little example. One day I went hunting with my father, and we were all sitting on like a ridge, and below the ridge it dropped down about 10 feet, and then it was the bottom there. So I decided I was going to explore. And I was, in the middle of the woods. I figured I'll find something out here, frog, something to mess with. Well, I walked no further than it seemed like 10 or 15 feet. I turned around and I couldn't see anybody. I found myself below the ridge, and I didn't know where I was. I wasn't paying attention to where I was walking. I didn't pay attention to what I was doing. All I know is I was looking for something, and I became disoriented, and I started screaming right away. And of course, they saw me where they were sitting on top of the ridge, and they let me stew a little while and started screaming. They didn't say a goddamn word to me.
Dicks.
And so basically, when they saw me freaking the fuck out, they figured, let me come clean, and they told me, you're down below or whatever. Mind you, I was like 12 or 13 years old at the time. Well, that was my last time I went in the woods alone, or even with 2 or 3 people, up until I went camping when I was in my early 20s, because I don't know it's out there. I'm not a woods person. I wouldn't want to be caught in the woods at night alone. It's very, very frightening to some people, and it could really mess you up. I can tell you that firsthand. And a lot of people thrive on it. A lot of people love the woods. They can walk 3-4 miles in the woods and find their way right out. You're shaking your head. Why?
Nope, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are woods people. A lot of people are beach people. I like sand, sun. That's what I like. Vastness of the ocean, whatever. Woods, not so much. It's very frightening. Very, very frightening. And I would not want to be in that situation again.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with all that. But as far as Clinton Road, that's really it. Well, just searching up weird NewJersey.com, and we do have a new, somehow, I don't know how it's new. It's top story right now on Ghosts of New Jersey, or Jersey State Garden State Ghosts.
Oh, okay.
And this one is the Ghost of Annie's Road.
Oh, here we go again. Okay, maybe this guy's seen it.
All right, so this guy turned around and said, and excuse me for botching up this word, but perhaps it's apropos.
Apropos?
Yeah, there you go. That in our fast-moving, highly mobile state, many of our most notable ghosts are seen hanging out of the side of the car, or side of the road, where it is said that they will meet their untimely end. These roadside apparitions have been witnessed by countless motorists over the course of several generations.
But no photos.
Unlike the popular urban legend of the vanishing hitchhiker, though, who gets picked up only to disappear from the car's back seat, New Jersey street corner spooks don't seem to have any interest in bumming a ride. They seem to just be content to wander their own stretch of highway year in and year out, eternally reliving their final living moments here on Earth.
Now, I want to ask you a question.
What's up?
Put yourself in their shoes. If you get killed in an accident, God forbid, are you going to want to keep returning to that and looking and playing it over and over in your mind? Wouldn't it be something you might want to forget about? Next thing you find yourself floating over the thing or whatever they say when you leave your body, if that's the truth or whatever. Well, how does that work? I mean, do you like then at that point you look around and go, I'm going to hang here for a while, or I'm going to move on to the next plateau. Do you know where the next plateau is? There somebody with somebody there, like, come this way, or we're...
Well, how I think about it is I don't think you get a choice. I think
you're going to be predestined to be a spirit roaming the earth, or you're going to go on
Well,
to the next...
I think it depends on how you die. I think if you bow out gracefully and, like, of old age and natural causes and shit like that, then, you can just go. Like, okay, you go to heaven or hell. Doesn't matter what you do. I think if you die tragically, I think there's I don't know. I think it's that tragic moment in your life bonds you to that area.
Maybe.
Or a tragic part of your life that you never got over.
So you're going to be always in that area, reliving that over and over.
Until you either get, like, exorcised out of the area, or you, whoever it is blesses the area and lets your spirit go. I don't know. I've never been dead. I've never been a ghost. So I don't know.
Let's hope that carries on for a long time.
But, I mean, you could go the whole Supernatural TV show route.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find their bones, cover it in salt, and then burn the bones. And then that releases the spirit.
Good thing I've never seen Supernatural, so I can't really bring that up. I don't know. But I can tell you one thing. I just want to see some evidence. I want to see some proof.
Just listen to his... Because obviously you and I have both, and our guest later on will... We've all, living in this area, have had numerous trips down Annie's Road.
Yeah.
I mean, for God's sakes, you fucking walked it in the middle of a snowstorm.
Yes.
As you said in the last episode.
Yes.
But listen to his description of Annie's Road.
Go ahead.
So he goes, imagine, if you will, you're driving down a narrow, winding ribbon of 2-lane blacktop. It is sometime around midnight, and the dark pavement is wet and shiny from a recent mid-autumn shower. Multicolored oak and maple leaves dance in front of your headlights momentarily before settling onto the slick asphalt roadway. To your left, a densely wooded hillside crowds its way up. Could you shut the fuck up? I'm trying to talk.
What's wrong with a little mood music?
I'll add the mood music in, all right? Okay. To your left, a densely wooded hillside crowds its way up to the edge of the shoulderless street. On your right, a low steel guardrail is the only thing between your car and the inky black waters of the Passaic River. Your headlights illuminating the canopy of swaying tree branches.
It's just brown water. It's not dark and murky. It's just very brown.
Your headlights illuminating the canopy of swaying tree branches over your head. They bow down from either side of the road, giving the impression that you are traveling inside a long, undulating tunnel as you serpentine your way along beneath a clear moonlight sky.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Hello, nerds. Come listen to the History Nerds United podcast, and let's make history fun again. We interview today's best authors, whether they are established Pulitzer Prize winners or someone debuting their first book. Let us show you that history is not a boring class you took in high school, but a place where the best stories come from. And we don't just cover history, we also love to chat about true crime, biographies, memoirs, and so much more. So head on over to History Nerds United and let us introduce you to your new favorite book and learn the story behind the story.
History Nerds United.
So you're going to have a clear moonlight sky, but the trees above you are bending down. And so how you seeing the moon?
You're reading way too into it.
I'm sorry. I just trying to paint a picture here.
Suddenly, you find yourself drawn into a hard right curve in the road and realize you have not been paying attention to the speed at which you've been driving, which, I'll be honest, I've done that.
So you have to be traveling south, correct? South would be towards Little Falls if you have a hard right, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. but he just said on the right is the. So he's confusing traveling south and traveling north. If you're traveling north, the river's on your right.
If you're traveling south, the river's on your left.
Correct.
Okay.
So you got to get to see. This is what I mean. If you're going to do this kind of story where there's so much detail, please get the goddamn detail correct.
Okay. So, but I'm just saying, I
know.
I've turned around and like have not watched my speed going down that road.
Right. Well, yeah,
and that's very dangerous.
Very dangerous.
And I've done that at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
Guess
while
which
driving
car
home
you're
from
not going
work.
to be using anymore.
As you begin to regain control of As you begin to regain control of you see something that sends a shiver up the length of your spine. He misspelled something there. It's a splash of red. There on the road and on the guardrail, which trails off down the edge of the street. Was that blood? You ask yourself as you quickly crane your neck to peer in the rearview mirror.
This guy's either fucked up or he's on acid. What's the matter? What are you looking at me like that for?
Oh, that's like black across. I can't see.
Ooh, no, I turned my computer down.
Oh, dick, don't fucking do that. I gotta look up, man. I just don't see nothing.
Better.
So as you set your sights back on the road before you, once more you notice an eerie mist forming on the glassy moonlit river, just ahead of you and off to the right. So he's now traveling north now.
Now he's going north. This fucker didn't wonder he came. First of all, let me ask. I just got to cut in here, Joe. First of all, he's traveling north, and he's traveling south, and the river's on the right, and the river's on the left. Then there's a mist over the water. Let me explain something to you, okay? I've been on the Andes Road. I can't count you amount of times I've been on the Andes Road. There is not enough time to set all this detail up, okay? You're looking straight ahead, and because there's no lights back there. You might have one traffic or one street light buried in the middle of it. Now, if you're traveling down that road, you're not worried about looking to see if there's a moonlit on the right side, or maybe he's got the moon on the left side. You're not worried about any of that.
Apparently, the moon's straight above you.
The moon's straight above you with the trees bending over. That's another one. The trees are going to bend over, and you're trapped in a mile-long tunnel. And quite frankly, with all the detail this guy's given, the road doesn't last that long. The road is maybe a mile and a quarter, maybe. I don't know.
It feels long, though. I do got to say, it does.
You know, you just don't have that kind of time on this road to get this kind of detail.
Unless you stop and get out.
To me, this is better work than a Hollywood production, because this is screaming bullshit. To me, that's just me. Now, I've been on the road, so I can say that with impunity that that's bullshit. There's not enough time to know. But I do know whether I'm traveling north or south.
But my question is, have you ever peered back in the window just like wondering? In your rearview mirror, because I've done that a couple times. I look while driving, like it'll be 10 o'clock at night and there'll be nobody else on the fucking road, and I'm just driving, and I'll just like glance at my rearview mirror, hoping to see nothing.
Well, yeah, there's a couple of times that I actually glance because I'm down here alone, it's dark, I'm looking in the mirror, and then I'm saying to myself, you know what? I know the road very well, so I know at every point in the road where I am, and how far I am to either Toto Road or to Lackawanna Avenue, which borders both sides.
Yeah.
I basically, that doesn't frighten me, but yeah, I have done that where I peered in the mirror going, okay, and I'm just in the mirror as I'm driving, but you don't have time to do all that because the road changes very rapidly, and if you're not paying attention, you will be in the murky water, or you will be on the cliff there. But this guy's leaving out.
Or you'll be in Midgetville.
Right. I mean, you if you don't make that hard right, you're going to go straight through they don't have the building there anymore. They knocked the building down. So now it's a clear access right to the river. But if you're coming north and you got to make that hard left, that's where, to me, it gets really spooky and scary. After you make that left. Because when you make that left, the next thing after the underpass of Route 80, that's where the cemetery starts.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll fuck with your mind all the time. And years ago, they used to have, right along that road, they used to have a crypt, and we all called it Annie's Tomb, and we partied in that crypt. We did whatever.
Fucking weirdos.
Well, there's nobody in it. There was nothing in it. It was just an empty shell built into a little.
My question is, why are you partying in a cemetery?
Because no cops are coming into the cemetery. You can do whatever you want in that cemetery.
Old people.
And because now everybody's got a conscience, and you can't go to the cemetery. You can't smoke your cigarettes whatever desire you have. You can't do that there anymore because
What do you mean a conscience?
Conscience? Well, I didn't say conscience.
Yeah, everybody has a conscience. They don't party in cemeteries.
Oh, no.
You don't party in cemeteries to begin with.
That's because everybody now has got rules and regulations. They don't want you in it.
Why would you want to party around dead people?
Oh my God, you do party in a cemetery. You know what? That cemetery was tailor-made for partying.
You're a fucking weirdo.
Maybe, but it was. You know what? I could dig you up 1,000 people that'll go right along with me. You know what? In fact, I'm going to ask you, anybody out there, if you're listening to this and you've ever partied in Laurel Grove Cemetery, you know what I mean, back in the day, before they decided to put ropes and chains, and they redid it. When they redid it, they knocked down the tomb they say it was Annie's tomb, but there was nothing in it. It was, it was a crypt. It was a beautiful place. I mean, you go there, you smoke, you can do whatever you want. Nobody bothered you. You know, and then when you're done, you went home. You know?
Oh, my God.
Well, it was a nice place.
Anyway, on your left, the forest has given... Now the forest is on your left.
Okay.
On your left, the forest has given way to the gently sloping hills and gleamingly marble stones of a vast, sprawling cemetery. So now he's going north.
Right.
Okay. All of a sudden, the mist begins to take shape in your headlights. As you flick on your high beams, you can clearly make out a distinct figure crossing the road up ahead of you. You hit the brakes and you do your best to negotiate the slippery pavement. Then you watch in disbelief as the translucent mist glowing before you assumes the unmistakable form of a young woman wearing a flowing white dress. She floats across the roadway inches above the ground and disappears into the moonlit graveyard. You have just experienced a close encounter with Totowa's legendary Ghost of Annie.
Okay. I've heard them stories many times. Yes, absolutely. But don't you think that maybe somewhere along the line, the road is creepy enough, and then it's creepy by a cemetery? There's going to be stories. You're going to be stories. There's no pictures of Annie. There's no documentation. We've tried finding documentation of a girl named Annie that was killed on her wedding day on the road, Riverview Drive in Totowa. Never. There's nothing there.
There's a photo on WeirdNewJersey.com.
Right.
Someone took, it has to be red paint, and just splattered it across the road.
Okay.
And they put it up there.
There is tons of pictures of that stuff, and quite frankly, again, there's no evidence of a girl named Annie. It's a creepy feeling, I'll give you that much. There's no evidence of any spook. There's no evidence of any girl with a flowing white gown. There's no documentation of anybody ever being killed on that road. There's nothing. But yet it makes for a great story, and it does play with your mind. Like you said, you look in the rearview mirror because you got somebody sitting behind you. Well,
I'm going to shit myself.
Well, you will. No, I'm going to shit myself. I'm going to stop the car and get the fuck out.
Nope.
You can have the car at that point. Make sure you make the payments. Okay?
My first thing is to shit.
Yes.
So, I mean, it goes on and on about Annie's Road, but, like, I've never seen anything on Annie's Road.
Yeah, well, I want some proof. I want some evidence of it.
So, more stuff that they have on WeirdNewJersey.com in the ghost category. And we're not plugging WeirdNewJersey.com. It's just, they have a lot of ghosts compared to any other, site. So you have the Hookerman Spook Lights of the Flanders Tracks. I have no idea where the fuck that is.
I have no idea. Is that Flanders or Flanders?
Flanders.
Flanders. Town, yeah.
Okay. Shades of Death Road.
Yeah, I asked you about that last episode, too. That's not anywhere near Clinton Road, or is that Sussex County?
Let me see right now. Many legends associate Shades of Death Road. Jenny Jump State Forest, Warren County.
Warren County. Okay, all right, I was wrong.
They have Clinton Road. Murdered Maid Haunts Centenary College.
Centenary College.
Centenary. Right. Okay. Ghosts of Union Hotel in Flemington.
Yeah, I heard that one too. I heard there's a few ghosts in that hotel, but again, there's not been too much proof.
Emily haunts the Flanders Hotel in Ocean City. A lot of hotels.
I don't know why. People, I guess, ghosts are drawn to hotels. Maybe they figured it's a lot of empty rooms. They got a place to hang and chill.
I don't know. Well, I mean, probably a lot of murders take place at hotels.
Well, especially older hotels.
Yeah.
You see, would the ghosts in New Jersey, you go south, you got a whole section of ghosts. Central, you got more ghosts. And it seems like the northern part of the state is always haunted more. Then again, it comes with trees, woods.
Oh no, I've noticed that. I feel like a lot of the southern places have a lot more hauntings than anything. Like I know you want to do a whole episode on Ghosts of the Jersey Shore,
Right.
which would be a very interesting episode because there's a lot to do.
Yeah, I want to do a 2-hour special on that one because that one's going to be something we're going to take each case and we're going to break it down.
Yeah, that'll be later down the road though, because
Yeah.
we have a couple more things to get in front of before.
I want to put it together, documentation.
Yeah.
You know, if there was a murder, I'll read you the documentation. That's the kind of stuff.
But you know, I love just reading the headlines for these ghosts. Like you just don't know. Oh, this one has a video. This one's called Route 55 Indian Curse Road. I don't know where it is. Recently, Facebook. I'm just reading the first paragraph. Recently, Facebook and Philadelphia radio was all abuzz about a ghostly figure that was witnessed walking along the side of the road of Route 55 near Exit 53 in Deptford.
Right.
In the wee hours... Nice.
That was me. That was my call for opening
thank you.
up.
In the wee hours of Tuesday morning, March 22nd, 2016. The apparition was described as a young woman in a white wedding dress and a veil, holding a bouquet of flowers. A Facebook user named Bill Hand captured the scene in a cell phone video as he drove slowly past the thing. Now, I want to see if they have the video up here. They do have the video up here. I'll definitely take a look at that.
Okay. Yeah, you can jump that audio in here too if you want. That would be good.
Maybe. So this one is Ghosts of Essex and Sussex Hotel in
That is
Spring Lake.
Spring Lake, baby. I know exactly where it is. I watched that place get renovated. And let me tell you something. If anybody's ever been on Ocean Avenue in Spring Lake, you will know that building, first of all, it's got these giant white columns standing in front of it. And you can tell the building's been there a while. I mean, I don't know exactly how long, but it was a hotel. Now it's condominiums. And yeah, the place is supposedly haunted by a ton, and I mean a ton of, in fact, so much that when the people were buying the condos, that was actually put in their contract that this place possibly could be haunted. Yeah, it's an amazing place. It's a huge place. It's huge. I can't explain how many rooms it has. It's got like 6 floors to it. It looks beautiful. It takes up an entire city block. It's in the southern to mid part of Spring Lake, which is an older town on Jersey Shore. A beautiful town.
Yeah, that we'll probably feature that a lot more on the Ghost of Jersey Shore episode.
Yeah.
Allaire's Haunted Big House.
At the Allaire State Park.
Where's that?
Allaire State Park is, I believe it's somewhere in the middle of Jersey. I'm not sure. I'm not up on my state parks.
Ooh, I don't know if you want to put this as part of the Jersey Shore episode, but this one is called The Parkway Phantom of Exit 82.
Oh, no. And see, now you know why I take the back way Route 35 down to Seaside? I avoid it at all costs.
Yeah, so could a road as legendary as New Jersey's famed Garden State Parkway not have a highway haunting associated with it?
Right.
No way. Unexplainable encounters and close calls around Exit 82 at Route 37 in Toms River are attributed locally to the Parkway Phantom.
Wow.
I'll put that. Yeah, I'll definitely put that and the Ghosts of Essex and Sussex in our episode. Just do a couple more and we'll get to our esteemed guest of the evening.
Okay.
The Atco Ghost. I don't know where that is. Atco. It's a Jersey town. Young boy who was run down in a lonely stretch of road after chasing his basketball in the middle of the street. Dumbass kid. The Old School Ghouls of Georgian Court University. Where the fuck is that?
I have no clue. I don't know. I never heard that.
Jesus Christ. Is the Spy House the most haunted house in America? It's in Port Monmouth.
Yes.
Oh, wait. It's a lone wooden building that stands with its backs to the windswept shore of the Sandy Hook Bay in the Port Monmouth section of Middletown.
It is. I've been there. It is very, very creepy.
That will go into our episode too.
That is extremely creepy. Yeah, I want to make sure we do a little bit about that, and then we can drop in some photos and we put it online.
Yeah.
That's a really, really good one.
Haunted Hindenburg Hangar at Lakehurst, which the Ghost Hunters actually.
Yeah, they actually got a couple phantoms on tape, so that's what I can believe.
Isn't that the same episode where the audio guy got pushed down, like something went through him?
Yes.
That is, right?
Yes,
okay.
It is. Yep.
So I believe that.
Yeah, well, there's documentation there.
Yeah. The Phantom of Phalanx and Colt's Neck. PNC Bank Arts Center.
Now the Arts Center is haunted now?
It's around the Arts Center.
Well, it's a creepy area, too. I mean, there's a lot of woods on that area.
Bloodstained Pew and the Ghosts of Tennant Church, Manalapan.
I've never been there. Heard of it, but I've never been there.
Murdered Music Haunts College of New Jersey, Trenton State. I think this one got knocked down, didn't it? The Haunted Burlington County Prison.
I think it did. Yeah, I think Burlington County Prison.
What, didn't the Ghost Hunters go there too?
Yes, they did.
I don't know if they caught anything though.
No, I don't remember. But I know they were there. I remember the episode.
But yeah, that's really about it. Well, like, I'm reading more of this stuff. I'm definitely more interested in that.
Yeah, see, we're gonna describe these broadcasts right now as the wet to whistle broadcasts. In other words, we're throwing everything out there, and now we're gonna go do our research on these places, and we're gonna find the documentation if they do exist, and we'll bring it to you. Again, these are gonna be more and more different episodes of different stuff, and we just wanted to let everybody know out there what we're going to be covering, what we're going to be going through, and instead of just throwing it out there saying, well, there's one here, I want to go into each one in detail.
Oh yeah,
I want to make sure we do everything right and we get it the right way. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, now this we're going to do our next week's episode is going to be about extraterrestrials, aliens.
Oh my God.
Now that's a vast.
But can we leave out aliens like the ones that jump over the borders illegally to come here?
I'm talking about. I said extraterrestrials, not.
Oh, from another planet.
Yeah, not illegal immigration. You dick.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to make sure that we're right on topic with all this shit.
No, I know. And illegal immigration again. We'll probably get into that later.
Yeah, we got a special guest for that one too coming up on the Alien Show. A lot of stuff about stuff in Orange County, New York, where they went to, and what we got now is we're going to bring in the Angry Uncle from the Angry Uncle podcast,
which the episode has not come out yet.
All right. Well, he was actually basically went there with our future guest Art Soul, and they used to go there and used to hang out a lot. And what they did was what can I tell you? Hold on a minute. There's two of them.
We got two uncles.
Wow.
We got the Angry Uncle. Then
All right.
Yeah,
I'm sitting out here like an orphan.
Well, this is not a lynching.
Oh, that's why he's angry.
Okay.
We have the Angry Uncle and then the moderately confused uncle.
Yeah. We. All right. Enough of that, please. We're on the air.
We're on the air now.
What we got now is we're going to bring in the Angry Uncle. And Kate, let me ask you a question. You used to go with Artie up to Orange County?
One time. Me, Kevin, and Art, we went to Orange County one time because there was I believe there's an Air Force base there.
Okay.
And there was a haunted cemetery. So we pulled. I remember pulling in on there was a gate there, and there was a fence, like a regular fence, and a little driveway. And we were looking, and we saw it was very clear. Then all of a sudden, we saw this mist coming from the end of the cemetery towards us.
Right.
And then I think Artie did go into the cemetery and he ran out. Or somebody was with us that ran back to the car.
I just got a question. Artie ran out?
Well, I mean, back in the day, for a big man, he can move.
Okay.
I'm not saying a word.
I can do that.
No, I don't think that was
I love
appropriate.
my uncle.
Well, my question is, so what else did you see up there as far as did you see any spirits or anything like that?
I saw the mist coming towards the car, and that's about really. We were more into the lights in the sky, because every now and then you saw a light that would come on and flash and then take off real quick, and it was a while ago. So my memory's not, I'm just trying to remember as much as I can.
So basically, you got the mist over the cemetery. Did the weather change at all?
No, it was the same. It's just the mist came from, like I said, it came towards us.
Okay.
As soon as we got there, I think the guy that was with us, like I said, it was a while ago, and he was in there, and then he came back, and then all of a sudden this started coming at us, and we were freaking out. Let's get out of here. I don't want to stay here. Like I said, but it was a while ago. I wish I could remember a little bit more, but
All right. Well, let me ask you another question. What about the lights in the sky? What did you see? Anything really crazy?
It was mostly blinking, and then you would see it, and then it would be gone real quick. And it would happen. You would see a regular plane fly in with the lights flickering,
Right.
But you would see multiple lights flashing here and there and there, and then boom, gone. And it's documented because if you look that up, there is reports of UFOs.
Yeah, I'm looking up right now, and what I have right now is this is 2018 though. I have nothing for 2019 or 2020. There were 65 UFO sightings in upstate New York in 2018.
All right, let me ask you a question. What was the name? What's the name of that Air Force base up there?
Air Force Base up in New York.
And now it's now a private Air Force base, and I got a story about that that I want to tell you. That kind of goes along the lines of this stuff here with the aliens and stuff like that.
Hold up, I'm looking up right now. Orange County, New York.
I think it's called Stewart's International Airport at this point.
Is that the one we passed when we were going up to?
Yes.
Yeah, Stewart Air International Guard.
Right, that's probably the one. That's in Orange County. Now, there's a little story about that. Depending on what you believe in 9/11 or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
When 9/11 happened, this was actually called Stewart's Air Force Base. Okay, and apparently, the planes that were hijacked out of Boston, the transponders were turned off above Stewart Air Force Base. Now, why were they done? They lost track of them and they picked them up again later on. But that's where where it all came down. That's where it all started, with the missing of the plane, and they couldn't figure out why the plane was. I don't know if it was both planes or just one. I think it was flight 11. I'm not sure. Or flight 11 was out of Newark. This might have been flight 175 that came out of there and crossed paths. But it always seemed to happen at Stewart's, right above Stewart's. And then later on, it was decommissioned, and then now it's called Stewart's International Airport. But that's probably what you're talking about up there, the planes and stuff coming in and out.
Like I said, like you're going back to before with Andy's grave and all that stuff. A lot of them stories are chemically induced. Okay, I mean,
chemically.
Let's face it.
What are you trying to say?
But all I'm trying to say is, people that hung out in that cemetery were smoking, drinking. It's all,
obviously partying in the cemetery.
People did back then. I don't know why. I never did.
You're talking to the ultimate angel here.
Oh,
you.
I'm not an angel, but I never partied in the cemetery. There's no business to be in the cemetery after dark.
You were just telling me you were in the cemetery up in Orange County.
I was outside the cemetery, if you want to play that back.
Okay.
Did I say I was inside? See, right away. Now you put words in my mouth.
But you were near a cemetery at dark.
I was sitting in the car in the driveway.
You always
now we're going to go. Now
so let me ask you. All right. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
What do you got?
What were you?
Times you can ask me.
What were you doing at a cemetery in the dark?
They told me to go for a ride. I went for a ride to see something. I saw mist. What do you want me to tell you? Do you want more?
Well, you saw mist and lights, apparently, right?
There's mists and lights.
I think for the future shows we're gonna have to like what do you call that?
Call in.
Hold on. We have Angry Uncle 2 here.
Angry Uncle.
He's moderately confused, Uncle.
Not whatever you guys. We went there. I did hear when we parked by the gate. There's no houses around. You can hear voices. That's what we heard, and it's not just me. And if I'm just.
Were
saying,
they in the cemetery? Coming out of the cemetery?
Coming out of the cemetery. It was like you were sitting in the car because I didn't get out because I don't play that. And it seemed like somebody was talking right in your ear.
Hold on. Do you have a chair over there, Joe?
No, I do not.
Ah, shit. I was going to say, Kevin on that side, you Keith on this side, and we can throw stories back and forth. But
Can we get back to the legal aliens? The eagle aliens?
not the illegal aliens.
And not the eagle aliens either.
The extraterrestrials?
Extra testicle aliens. Yeah, we're going to get back to that.
Are we going to talk about the ones that jump over the fence? Or the ones
No. This is not a story for that. This is a...
Every time I say something, he gets upset. Why does he get upset when I was...
Did I say anything?
He's the show producer. And
did I say anything?
Who's listening to this anyway?
I didn't say anything.
So let me get back. All right.
Calm down with your extra testicle aliens.
Children, we have to get back to the topic at hand.
You're a child. I'll slap the shit out of you.
So now, this is basically...
We're peaceful people.
This is...
Do
you remember the name of the cemetery?
No, because probably I was smoking shit out of a phone back
Chemically induced.
Yeah, chemically induced.
Okay.
See, mumbling. There goes the mumbling shit.
He's not mumbling. He was just... He's
telling
me in my ear.
Well, that's very rude not giving me a headset. I should be able to hear what he's saying.
Well, we're very low to no budget, so we don't...
New Haven Nighthawks would have won the championship if Cam Collins was the coach.
All right. Okay, I understand. All right. Well, I thought...
Anything else you want to ask me?
No, I thought you had more stories than that.
I told you it was a long time ago. Do you remember shit from 20
And they were
years ago?
chemically induced.
And okay, I just
He keeps saying chemically induced. He's going to sit inside of the freaking emergency room.
I might see a lot of interstate aliens.
I didn't say I saw an alien. You got to stop with the Wendy's poster child. Just let it relax. And just say what you have to say.
Okay, moderately confused, Uncle.
Okay, well, if you can give it... No, you come on the show and they insult you. I know, well, that's what they like.
Not insulting. I'm just asking you. I wanted to know what you saw. You told me what you saw.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the issue?
I don't have an issue.
All right.
That's all I want to know.
I will be respected.
Okay, you're respected with your issue, but that's all I wanted to know.
Can we talk about Murphy?
No, we can't talk about that. That's your podcast. This is something totally different.
Well, he's an alien.
Maybe so, but that's for another day.
329 new cases.
Oh, Jesus fucking
There's going to be a lot of editing to the show. I can see that already.
No, I'm going to put it straight up. Fuck it.
700 new cases.
Let's see what we deal with.
Let's talk. Does anybody know where the National Democratic Convention is going to be?
I have no clue.
No, I don't know.
I do not know. They don't even know where the Republicans are going to be.
Inside, right?
Yeah, it's going to be either side. I guess. I don't know. I don't know where it's going to be because
I'm so glad this show's about ghosts.
But they made him the chairman.
Well, all right. Well, do you guys have any stories of ghosts?
Do you want us to leave? Just say leave.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Look, dickhead. Look, do you have any stories of ghosts or anything?
Well,
anything that you heard?
Uncle Keith, hold on. Uncle Keith, Dad and I on the last episode were talking about Day Mansion. Have both of you work with Day Mansion almost all the time. Do you have any stories about Day Mansion?
Listen, there's you go in the basement of that. When I was there, before they renovated it, the basement was dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they had stalls down there. For some reason, I guess in the wintertime when it got really cold, they probably back then brought the horses down into the basement to keep them warm. And it had a strong odor of chicken soup.
In the basement?
In the building. When you walked in, if you went downstairs, you would smell it. So somebody would take, they would see the floor would be messed up.
Right.
Okay. So the guy before he left, he'd rake it out. And he left and he locked and he went home.
Mm-hmm.
The next day he'd come in, the floor would be scuffed up from like people walking. I used to go during Christmas, they would send me in there and we would get a tree. All right. And I would have to put the tree up in the room and then go get water and water the tree. So one time I was in there, the tree was up, so I had to water the tree every day. And I would go in there, and as soon as I opened the fucking door, I walked through the hallway where a guy got blown away by a shotgun. He died in that hallway. There's a picture of a baby. Now, this, I never knew this. It was a picture, but they finally told me it was a picture of a dead baby. They painted it when it was dead. And, and if you looked at it to the side, you would see a skeleton. So I said, this has got to be bullshit. So after I watered the tree, I decided I was going to look at the fucking picture. So I looked at it. I swear to God, on my brother, it looked like a fucking skeleton. I ran out of there so freaking fast. I didn't even lock the door. Okay? And I got back and my boss said, are you done? I said, I'll never go in that building again by myself. Never. You would hear actually people, not people, but you would hear walking because before they did all the work to it, you would hear. But it's to me, it's there have been so many. If you look it up, I don't know if you can. Wayne PD was receiving calls about a light on in the second floor. Okay, now there's candle power. There's candles. There's no regular lights. Okay, they said they seen somebody walking between the rooms. They would call the cops. The cops would come. It got so bad, every time the cops come, there's nobody there. Okay?
That's fucked up. So
now they said they told the sheriff to come. Wayne didn't want to do it no more. Okay?
That's fucked up.
That's from the house across the street. Okay?
That's fucked up.
It's when you're in that building by yourself,
don't want to be.
It's scary. It'll freak you out.
I was outside the building. I was freaked out.
Yeah, I was telling them last week that I went there as a kid, and the only story I remember is about a butter churner. We went through that, and what it is basically I didn't remember anything creepy there, but as a teenager I went back, and it did seem creepy to me, but it didn't seem creepy inside. It seemed more creepy to me on the outside because you got those windows and it doesn't, like you said, somebody might be looking at you. You don't know.
That building stood empty for years before the Parks Commission bought it. It was abandoned for a long time. And when they bought it, they renovated it because if you look at the front of the building, the windows, you see brickwork covered up. Okay, that building's, I don't know how old it is. Well, Washington was there.
Yeah.
It used to be his headquarters.
1700s.
So, I mean, but it stood abandoned for, I don't know how many years. And they finally fixed it up and they opened it. And
in that itself, it's a little fucked up because you got a place that was a museum at one time. Then they let it fall into disrepair.
And then you got to remember, this was in the Depression era.
The county buys it again. I mean, to me, it's like, I don't know who owned it when I was there, so I can't say.
That whole area, okay, more than likely, if you went back all the way towards by the clubhouse and down, more than likely the guy was telling us that's where they would get their water from and bring it back. Like there's a foundation of a house on the Blue Course. A guy was digging a pipe out and he fell right into the foundation. So that whole area, you don't know who's buried around there. I mean, you don't know. I mean, they never.
Well, it doesn't help they build a fucking golf course on
anything
it.
Well, yeah, that's also creepy too because you got to understand too the golf course comes later. That's got to be surrounded by woods.
Yeah.
They moved first. They had.
That's what I'm saying, though.
They had tombstones. Okay. They moved them, I think, from the mansion and put them up on a hill. There's no bodies in them. But one year they thought there was. They put cadaver dogs in. Right? And they searched the whole area. They came up with nothing. So apparently there's got to be some people buried around there. Because what did they do? The nearest cemetery. There was no near back then. Where was there a cemetery?
That's a good point.
Well, they buried
people on that property somewhere.
Yeah. They didn't have cemeteries back then.
Like, I mean, who knows? They were going to do Ghost Hunters back in the day, wanted to do it, but the director said, no, we're not letting it. So they said, screw it.
Yeah. Well, it's a little sad because you really need to get some kind of answers for that.
I guarantee you, if Jason and what's his name went in there with that crew, they would have definitely got some EVPs or something. I have that feeling they would have found something without a doubt.
Wow.
Well, there you go, people.
When you were there, Now you're going back, what, 5-10 years now? The last time you were in that building?
Oh, it's longer than that. I haven't,
Because I remember you said to me, I got the key to the place. We were talking about it one day, and I said, let's go hang there. And you said, well, we really can't go in because it's,
Yeah, if I did that, then I would have to give my code. They know I was in the building at a certain time.
Yeah, see that, but to me, it's worthy of it's worthy of somebody looking into it. It's worthy of somebody going in there, and just
I think now with the new with the director that was there, and I don't like to talk about it because he was, he had his ways, but he was all right. If you went to the new director or the Nova or anybody and asked them if you could do an investigation,
right?
And you put it on TV,
mm-hmm.
and you did find something, I think that would draw more people to the building because people want to go see haunted stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, this is haunted. Let's go see it.
Yeah, but they don't get much for that. They get like, what, $1 a tour or something like that?
I think.
Yeah, I mean, did they have a gift shop too in that place?
No, they don't.
See, that's something they could also do. Now, look, I'm all for promoting, capitalism and all. I get it; it's a wonderful thing, but you really need to come to it would be great to find out exactly what's there.
You ever watch what's the Holtz Files?
No.
Hans Holzer.
Watch that episode, Lambert Castle. A Descendant.
I never even saw that.
You got to see it, but they showed you inside the castle. They were in the castle, heard voices of a lady and a man talking, okay? And you got to go look it up, and it's on demand.
What Keith's referring to is Lambert Castle. It's actually in West. No, where is it? Clifton.
It's in Patterson. It's on One Valley Road, which is located in Patterson.
Okay, it's on One Valley Road in Patterson. What it was this guy was an industrial tycoon that built it.
Yes,
he built that. He built the towers, which they just recently renovated. The castle, it looks like a castle. It's undeniable. You see it at night. It's up on a hill, but it's a museum, and they just recently put an elevator in there a couple of years ago.
Over again.
And the county owns it, and they had I think on one floor the county has some offices in there, or whatever.
No more. No. We used to have our park offices in there, and then they renovated it, and they told them to move out.
Okay.
So now it's basically just everything. Now, like I said, they're redoing it again, because they're trying to get it back to where it was, but that building is not it's the original building, but there was other parts of that are gone now.
Now, I heard they rearranged the rooms in there too. Like where you see now, when you walk in, there's a dining room. That might have been the kitchen back in the day. They're not sure.
They're not sure what was the kitchen, where the bedrooms were. Because if you go into there, you'll walk around and you won't see a bedroom. You'll see all rooms.
Right.
Okay.
And they're all decorated to the area, the piece of time that they were in.
I got news for you. I mean, when I saw that show, I wouldn't go back in there. If they told me I had to go in there by myself, I wouldn't go back in there.
Well, it's creepy.
But this lady was a descendant of Lambert.
All right.
Illegitimate something. It's weird. You got to see it. And it's very interesting.
Yeah, the place itself, when you walk in, you were in it with me, Joe. We were there. And, in fact, we even brought
I've been in a couple times.
We brought our recorder with us. You remember that time we were sneaking around trying to, because at that point, we were in there for like a school function with my daughter. But when you walk in the building, you go to the center of the building and you look straight up, and it's got like balconies. There's 3 balconies or whatever it is that people could be looking over. So there's different parts of that place where you never know who's looking at you.
Well, there's also things off the actual land too.
Right.
Because remember, we walked up to this one little shed that was on the trail leading to Lambert Castle. Because there's a trail that goes from Lambert Castle to the top of the mountain, right?
Right, to the tower.
Yeah. So
the tower is also very interesting too. Years ago, again,
where that parking lot on the top when you come in, that was a garden.
Yeah.
That was one of the most. That area was one of the best gardens in the state at one time, back in his day. When they redone it, they knocked it all down, and that's all gone. Like,
shit.
Where the one part is all like the picnic area, what you call it, that was buildings at one time. They in the front of that, when you go into Lambert's Castle, there was a guardhouse and a tower on two sides.
Hold on a second. Are you picking him up okay from where? Okay.
So I mean, like if you look it up, you go on like say county history or whatever, and you see pictures of that place before they knock stuff down, you wouldn't recognize it. I mean, it's that nice.
See, that's what sucks because you got parts of that like history that you really want to preserve for future generations, so everybody can enjoy it. But you also gotta understand that people are very interested in this topic, the ghosts and the hunt and all this stuff. So if we could somehow find a way to get into those buildings and ghost hunt, but it would have to be credible.
I mean, you would have to. I would. You know what? What I would do is I would go directly to Mr. DeNova and ask him directly. Say, listen, Mr. DeNova, we're this and that. Explain to him and say, we would like to do an investigation.
Yeah, I might have it in with DeNova. My wife knows his sister.
No, he's a straight up dude. I mean, I like I said, I put 30-some years there. I never had a problem with him. It was always cordial with one another.
All right, let me get off the topic, but let me ask you: have you working for the county? Did they ever send you up to the Preakness Hospital?
No.
Okay.
No.
There's stories of that place too that's since knocked down.
Oh yeah.
It's gone, but
it's
totally.
That's again, like I keep saying this, that's a whole nother episode too. Though.
Yeah, that place is amazing. I've been in there. I was in there Christmas caroling with St. Gerard's. It was only 1 or 2 times, but from the outside, I know we always try to look in there and see what was going on. And I did hear, now that place had tunnels all around the bottom of it going from different buildings. And I heard that those tunnels were very haunted. People walking through them to get from one building to another, and somebody would push you or, whisper in your ear. Again,
I don't know. I don't know what's up there now. I don't know if they built anything new up there.
Right.
Or if the quarry took that land over.
I'm not really sure.
But you would think that they didn't, like, if they knocked down the building, that's one thing, but did they fill those tunnels up?
They would have to, because basically, if you look at, there's a certain part, there's a silo up there, right?
That's gone. That's all gone.
They knocked the silo down too?
That's gone. Everything is yours.
There's 2 roads that come off of Valley View Road.
Valley View Road.
Now, Valley View Road is in Wayne, folks. It's between Wayne and Patterson on the top of Snake Hill Road, Central Avenue, they call it. But traveling north, if you make the left, you go up the hill. As soon as you get to the top, well, now they got it barricaded. It says private property. It's the county property or whatever. But if you were back in the day when you go there, you would just continue driving up the hill, and on the right-hand side was the hospital. Now, this thing was sprawling. It was huge, okay? And it had that look about it, that creepy look. But also, if you went to the left, they had a silo where they would keep all the salt for the county.
Yeah, that's down the one road, isn't it?
Right. You would branch off and you go to the left. Now, if you were there and you turned around and you looked across the street from it, there's a bridge. A lot of people don't know that.
I don't know that either.
Right there, that was an entrance to one of the tunnels that would come out that way. And there was a building there. Remember the building there?
That was the morgue.
The morgue. Okay. It was like a furnace in there as well. Okay. And when they knocked that down, you could see the tunnel that was there. Now, I've been up there in years. Last time I was up there was when I was taking my daughter up to State County. We cut through there at a time.
School, yeah.
Right. So I noticed the thing. In fact, I got a photo, I believe, somewhere. But that was one of the tunnels. And they had to knock them down because you got to fill them in. You can't just... At one point, they were going to build a banquet hall up there and a hotel. And I think that the county eventually made a deal with the quarry. I mean, I could be wrong on that. I'm not sure.
I think so, because I think the quarry took over part of that.
Right. Well, the quarries, they're going to eat up off that mountain anyway. They're going to continue eating it up until there's nothing left.
I know the one building that used to be, I think the kids area or whatever the fuck that was. It was off to the right. It was one of the first buildings you came in when you come.
No, I think that was right past it on the right hand side. But the main building, and then you go right past it. And there was a flurry of other buildings that went catty corner to it. And I believe you're talking about
right as you're coming up the road.
Yeah, there was a daycare center in there.
Yeah, the daycare center. Right. That where that land was, it's now all quarry area.
Oh,
they knocked the entire land out.
I know there was a car dealership that was storing their cars up there.
No, that was the county storing. That
Are you
wasn't
sure? Because they had tags on them.
Yeah, I think that it was the county that was storing cars that were raided and shit like that.
All right. Well, Keith, thanks for dropping by, and we appreciate your insight into some of the county stuff. We'll bring you back another episode because we want to get some more of this Day Mansion stuff.
Well,
We're going to do some. Let me ask you: if we get a shot at ghost hunting up there, will you? Are you in?
Oh yeah, I definitely go.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'd go.
Are you absolutely positive?
Why not?
Okay.
Hey, listen.
If I put you in the basement down by yourself, will you go? Will you do it?
Why not?
Okay.
All right. So we got a volunteer for the basement.
Yeah, there you go.
The basement is what? The Day Mansion?
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to think about that one.
Well, because what we'll do is
Listen,
we'll give you a camera. We'll give you a camera
And an audio recorder.
and an audio. We'll set up some video, and we'll wait outside to find out what you're going to find.
I would. The first one I would do the castle because they're doing it. That's going to be for a couple of years. They're doing that.
I'm not worried about the
But
castle.
to ask him for the Day Mansion, because I believe they're closed on Mondays and Tuesdays.
Right.
That would be the one I would ask. Of course, they would have to have. They'll probably have
cops there, of course.
Super. What do you call that?
Well, they can actually. We can actually bring us one of the. If DeNova wants to ghost hunt with us, that's fine. Or one of his representatives, or somebody from the county. I mean, look, I would imagine they'd have to have somebody there, or wait outside when we do. We're not going to steal anything.
Like I said, if you ask him, what could he say? No, I mean,
no. Well, I will definitely. I'm going to give him a shout out today. In fact, I will give him a shout out, and I might have a. I think your mom knows his sister very well. She worked with him, and.
I don't know any of this, so.
So I'll give him a shot. And so,
peace out, everyone.
Thank you, Keith. Thanks for stopping by. That is an experience. Anyway, now back to the show here. What do we got left for this show, Joe?
I think that really sums up our show for today. I know next week, we're gonna have a call-in. You're my uncle, your best friend, our Uncle Artie. Because more of the alien stuff and extraterrestrial aliens, not illegal.
There's also a whole backdrop of aliens sightings, UFO sightings along our coast, along the Jersey Shore. In fact, if you go on YouTube, there's a sighting of
everything have to deal with the Jersey Shore with you.
I'm sorry, but there's actually a video of aliens over Seaside Park.
I have this page right here, the 65 UFO sightings in upstate New York.
Right.
And what I'm trying to say, it gives you the time and date of each sighting and the actual account
right
of the person.
Yeah, see, I'm tending to believe UFOs. I mean, don't get me wrong. Let me preface this right away. I do believe in spirits. I do believe in demons. I do believe all that stuff. And I do believe there's certain things that happen. And I believe there's certain things that happen in people's minds. And I do believe that there's stuff that doesn't happen, but that's still in people's minds. But the alien thing, to me, there's just way too much evidence out there. There's now you got stuff that's being now brought up from the government.
Well, one thing I did hear the other day, and this was recent, NASA apparently they saw a UFO. They said it was 3 times the size of the Earth in some planet somewhere.
Oh wow.
I'm trying to figure out where it is. But I was watching that, and of course, they turned around and said, here it is. Winged UFO 3 times bigger than Earth recorded by NASA June 20th, 2020.
See, now that's fucking scary in its own right. How big
and
is
there's
the Earth?
pictures
25,000 miles around? I mean, come on.
Location of sighting Earth's sun.
So this is brought up from NASA?
NASA.
Oh, my microphone just came right off of my hand.
Oh, that's why you have to fix it, my dude.
Hold on. I'm trying to get it back in here. Where is this fucking thing? Okay.
Oh, that's fucked up. Look, I'm looking at the photos right now.
Right.
Again, people, we apologize for the technical difficulties. Because
I don't know if it's technical or not, but I can't get this fucking microphone back in the thing.
I told this man to fix this weeks ago. But,
yeah.
I'm
getting there. Oh, there we go. Okay.
I'm looking at the photos right now. I don't know if you want to look at the photos on
I'll do that after the show. That'll be show prep for next week.
But yeah, this thing looks fucking huge.
Right.
And it looks terrifying. It looks like a winged. It's a winged angelic UFO.
And that's on NASA.com.
Well, ET database.
ET database. Wow.
Just punch in. I punched in NASA UFO 3 times the size of Earth, and it's the first. And put your mic closer to your mouth, dickhead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why are you gonna call me dickhead?
Because it's the truth.
So I mean.
But yeah, I'm looking at the photos right now. It's literally the most terrifying fucking photo I've ever seen.
So how the fuck did I get a photo of something that's so far out there? I don't understand.
It's NASA, bro.
What the hell does that mean?
NASA has microscopes and cameras that go beyond.
Yeah, see, I don't see anything on here. But anyway, I'll look at it later. I'll find it later.
You don't see anything?
No.
I literally. Did you punch on Google NASA UFO 3 times the size of Earth?
Oh dear God! I don't want to waste the people's time when we doing this shit online.
Oh, stop!
All right, what's it called now?
It's NASA UFO 3 times the size of Earth.
You know what? I'll do it later. I'm not gonna do it now.
Okay, fine. Either way, I'm looking at the photos right now, and it's literally terrifying to know that there's something like this in our
solar system.
Yeah, solar system.
Wow, that.
And if it's true, and it is 3 times the size of Earth, what the fuck is it?
I don't know, Joe. I don't know, but it's awful funny. We're getting a lot more of these reports now coming out of
government-wise
reports, you know. And like I said last week, I believe that within a year's time, or everything UFO, the word UFO will be gone because now they're all going to be identified.
Well, no, there's still going to be UFOs, but the word UFO is not going to be hit with, it's a conspiracy theory, or, conspiracy theorists talk about aliens, and aliens are going to attack us. You know how they like to do that.
This picture is of something square over the sun?
Yeah.
That right there you're talking about?
Yeah.
I can't explain that. I don't know. So what could that possibly be that's square like that and it's that close to the sun without melting?
I also have, in terms of what the fuck type of technology they have.
Right.
There's a couple things. You have the square one, and then you have this one that's, it's our sun. Right. It's a winged UFO. It looks like a plane.
Huh.
And I'm looking at the pictures right now. Like I said, it's fucking terrifying. But yeah, that's all next week's episode. I'll keep this
yeah, I want to go in detail with some of this shit.
Yeah, I'll keep this saved for next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it for this week's episode, Dad.
All right, well, hey, good show. Special thanks to our guest Keith for coming out and giving us some insights, and Uncle Bubba. So yeah, I'll see you next week.
Yep, see you next week, guys. And always ask the question: is this real? Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.